welcome to another Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. Today, I'm going to unbox and take a look at the War of the Worlds from DVG Games, or Dan Verson Games. This is a continuation of sorts. I mean, it's a standalone game, but it's another in the series of the War of the Worlds, of which I have War of the Worlds Japan, and this is taking War of the Worlds to the UK, or to Great Britain. And so there's also one for France and the United States, or at least the Eastern United States, I believe is the case. Now, why did I pick this one up? Well, I found this as part of a bargain. This goes in Kilroy's Bargains. Found this really for a steal. I think I got it for it was $5, so you can't resist that. I remember picking this one up as a bargain as well, because I'm always looking for bargains, and hard to resist. My shelves tell me to resist, but my pocketbook tells me to resist, but my heart and head do not. So what is War of the Worlds? Well, I mean, it's based on the classic War of the Worlds, the H.G. Wells story of alien invasion. This is taking place in kind of a Victorian England in this case, and it is it's definitely sci-fi. We have aliens here, right? But it's also there's a little bit of I believe a little bit of flavor of steampunk in this as well. It's been a while since I played the Japan one, and but this one is kind of the I think either this was the first or the United States Eastern Coast was the first. I'm not sure which one came out, but it's a good system. It's a solitaire game. I mean, is what you would expect from DVG. They are known for their solitaire games predominantly, but it's a somewhat of a sequence solitaire game, like a lot of solitaire games are. You need to follow the sequence, and the AI is runs the aliens, and you are, in this case, you're the defending Great Britain. So you are the forces of human forces that are defending Great Britain, and hopefully coming up with some technology to stave off this invasion. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. And this is a hard game. I think I can't remember in the Japan if there was a way to set the different levels of difficulty, but I remember it being relatively hard to play, and you kind of want that in a solitaire game. If it's easy to beat, then you get bored with it, or a lot of people would get bored with it. And so why do you want to? You want to have a challenge, and why would you want to play something that's not challenging? So very slowly, the circular top of the cylinder was rotating on its body. The War of the Worlds is directly based on the famous novel by H.G. Wells. The War of the Worlds is a solitaire game. You take on the role of commanding England's military forces in the desperate attempt to defeat the invading Martian tripods, while the game system controls Martian forces. The War of the Worlds is played on a strategic map of England. When the Martian tripods and human military forces enter the same zone, you resolve the battle on a tactical map. Deploy your guns, infantry, and cavalry to hold back the tripods before they devastate all of England. Unique to England is the 95T gun and the HMS Thunderchild. These are superpowered versions of the siege gun and warship. So each one of these games are going to have some nuances, right? Japan is a very thin map. You're dealing with the island of Japan, and I remember playing on that. It's it's kind of hard to move your forces. I mean, there's not a lot of places to maneuver, and so you're kind of not only the map is different, but some of the forces are different as well. Each one of these have, I think, some nuanced rules. In this case, we have a couple of different weapons here, and maybe there might be some more in here as well. You can see here's the map. Here are the pieces, and they have standees, so you can pop them up there. Then you got cards as well. So anyway, let's get inside this box and see what the fuss is all about. So go. Make sure not to cut myself. You can see right there, DVG stock number there. And the art is very evocative of, you know, the H.G. Wells, War of the Worlds, and the like. I was actually involved loosely in the remake of the War of the Worlds, the one with Tom Cruise, and that the company I worked for, they wanted to blow up our store, blow up our storefront. And so they paid us to shut down our store and put up a fake storefront, and we gave them some boxes and stuff, but they got some props and stuff. And so, you know, we got paid to blow up the front of our store. And that was in that sequence when, you know, right at the very beginning where Tom Cruise is running down the road and the aliens are zapping everything and blowing everything, turning the people to dust, and then blowing up storefronts. Anyway, and I've watched that movie like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and I still can't really pick out our store. It might have made it into the cutting room floor. So anyway, that's my claim to fame there. I worked on the contract. Anyway, so 20 pages. You got an optional League of Terran Nations here. So just 20 pages of rules. It's dual column. This is typical DVG format. Got your display board. Here are those battle boards, whether it's a land battle or naval battle. Depends on where your forces are meeting up. There's a player help sheet. You got factories, hills, you know, some of the different terrain. Here are the counters, human counters, different type of weapons or units. You got naval, powder keg, refugees character. Powder kegs are important. You're trying to blow these things up. If I recall from playing this, here are the tripods, production counters, all that stuff here. So you can see it's full color. Here's more counters. There's a lot of administrative type stuff. You got naval battle cards. And here you get into the setup here. Here's your sequence of play. Again, this is a very sequence-driven solitaire game. Your production phase, battle phase, devastation phase, human action phase, escape phase, Martian action phase, and assembly phase. Right there. And you're buying pieces, so this is definitely a strategic level solitaire game where you're having to have production points, and as the Martians destroy stuff, you're going to lose production points and not be able to build stuff as much. Siege gun costs 22. Here's the battle phase, and you have specialized dice, and that will affect, you know, combat, you know, different kind of roles here. If I recall, I don't know if it has somewhat of the command and colors type combat system. I have to go back and look at that. Definitely the colors are going to determine where the Martians, which ones move and fire and attack and stuff. There's like an AI built into this card play here, and the dice and the Martians have different colors on them as well, the different groups of Martians. And here's how you do the Martian AI here. Range, it's a different success. Special actions, damage tripods. Here's the human step, devastation phase, human action phase, escape phase, refugees. Here's warships or naval battle, Martian action phase, assembly phase, and then credits. So game design is Arnaud Della Ciega. Probably definitely butchering that name, so I apologize. Designer notes, and you have some scenarios here. So let's say we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different scenarios, and then an optional League of Terran. So that be the rules. And this board is a nice mounted board here. Let's pull that out so we can see what that looks like here. And it's a pair of pants board here, so you can see the legs. And it's interesting. It's kind of a square board. You would think with England it might be a little bit more elongated, but not so much. That's cool. Okay, get a little bit of the glare off there. Sorry about that. So a shiny board, as you can see with the glare on there, and mounted, and you have some tracks on here, and then you have your sequence and play. Always like to have a sequence for a solitaire game, have the sequence of play on the board itself so you can keep track of what's going on, and plus they're gonna have a marker that moves down there as well. And then you have the board itself. It has kind of a Victorian feel, I guess, or earlier feel to it, the way it looks. You've got these different areas, and then you have some ports, and then some of these, I think, production areas, I think, or the industry or whatever. Flying machine, there you go there. And you have an inset for London here, so, which is all shiny. Sorry about that. So, let's look at the rest of the contents. We get the counters, and a lot of these will have standees. So as you can see, the Martians, the tripods have different colors on them. Then these are your forces. They have some refugees as well. And this is it damaged. So decent, thickness on the counter sheet. This is typical DVG counters. Continue on with some different colors here and more of your forces. So you're going to have 4 sheets, it looks like. Here's some of those powder kegs. So if any of you have played this series, let us know what you think about it, which one you've played and what you think about it. As I said, I played Japan. I've seen some of the content on the other ones, but this one was too good to pass up as far as price. But what you played and what you think about them. I mean, do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you think they're not hard enough, or whatever your thoughts are good, so are fine. Here is this is basically your player aid, which has all the different phases, kind of laying stuff out here, and where you're gonna land or bring stuff in. And it's one-sided, because you can leave that right on the side of the board, because it's only you playing, so you just need to have this as a reference here. So it has all your good stuff like production phase, battle phase, devastation phase, human action phase, escape phase, Martian action phase. I mean, so all the different phases and some of the key aspects of it. Sorry for the glare. Then we have these battle boards, and these are, not mounted. They're, like player aids thickness. So you have your naval board there, and then you have your land board there, so you do a little tactical inset. Then we have, this is the optional rules, the League of Terran Nations. I don't know how that plays. That's an option. I think that might be only for this set here. Here's your standee bases that you get with the game. Here is your dice, so individually sealed or bagged. So you can see the different colors there on the dice. So we got a green there. I don't think, yeah, so it's green, yellow, and red for the colors. There you go there. Now let's get into the cards so we can see what we have there. If it's a DVG game, it's more than likely going to be solitaire, and it's more than likely going to have some cards. And it'll have a mounted map. So there's some of the things you can expect from DVG. Oh, except I can't get the cards open. Here we go. Oh, there's a side on the thing. I probably could use that. All right, so good quality cards. I mean, these are actually not as thick as some DVG cards I've seen before, but not bad. So you got production, event, naval battle, land battle, and there you go. So let's look at some of these here. Production event here. Tell you some of this. There's that 95T gun. So this is during the production phase. Some events that could happen here. Here's naval battle and land battle. Cool looking at the back of the cards here. And this is basically telling you what the AI is going to do. Well, those are all land battles. Here's the naval. It tells you kind of how it's going to interact or move around or attack and what have you. That's the core of the system there. Let's look at the assembly event here. So you're going to have each of these cards for each of these different phases over here for the most part. Assembly event. See what that's in here. So this is going to be something mass production, malfunction. So quite a bit of certain amount of chaos or randomness that's instituted into the game or inserted into the game. So no game's going to be exactly the same. Where the Martians are coming in and how they come in and how they react and how you react to them or attack them. This is the Martian action phase. So you got some events there that are going to come into play. Escape event. So the interaction between all these different events at different phases is going to add a lot of replayability to this game. Human action phase. Ooh, the HMS Thunderchild. There. Devastation event. So a lot of different events. I mean, these decks aren't super thick, but you know, there's a lot of different, there's several different phases and what have you. Battle events and production event. Oh, I thought I had a production event over somewhere else. Yep, there we go. Those will go there. Here's some battle events. Lose gunpowder. That's not good. Heat ray. Having a heat ray. There you have it. So those are all the different events that you get in the game. And that's basically the game. Again, you're playing out on this board. You're trying to survive and take out the Martian tripods. Sorry about that. Had a moment. But there you have it. I enjoyed Japan. You know, this don't hear a lot about these games these days. Maybe that's one reason why it's on such a sale right now. Or I think that sale might be over, but you know, you can't for $5-10, you know, even 15. I think these are a steal of a game to pick up. They're fun and you know, scratch a itch and fill a niche. There you have it. War of the Worlds, the UK or England version of it. Anyway. Thanks for stopping by. Love to know your thoughts on any of these in this system, but especially this one since I'm covering this one. Arnaud de la Siega, or Siega. Again, butchering it again. Anyway, thanks all. Take care. Thanks for watching.